outside the book.
I think if you have to take by tomorrow morning.
Okay, hold on just 1 second, everybody. Let's get this YouTube started, and then we're going to go right back into the discussion. Okay, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome on YouTube. This is the Southwest Florida TechNet, and we're having a special Tuesday night pre-storm broadcast where we're having a hurricane party, except instead of beer, we brought boards and screws and bottles of water. So there you go. It's crazy out there. The reason I look like I do tonight, my name's Ian Hicken, by the way, KO4EFS. I'm your host tonight. I'm also joined by Joseph and Rick and a bunch of our regulars in here tonight. Chris and John and Bob and John and all them. Anyway, I and Dave, I miss it. I hate to say names because I miss people. So I throw out some random names too. Anyway, I welcome everybody. My panel here tonight is going to help us go through this storm and discuss it from top to bottom and try to get into it. So thank you for joining us. If you're out there in YouTube land, we are broadcasting worldwide, and we are broadcasting from ground zero tonight in North Fort Myers, where tomorrow about this time, we will probably have the major hurricane force eye wall winds just starting to subside here in North Fort Myers. We're all pretty nervous up here, I got to admit. If I look wet and disheveled, there's a reason for that. The reason is I'm wet and disheveled.
Same here. I am soaked.
I'm soaked. You could wring the water. This is my work shirt. You could wring the water out of it. Anyway, I went out immediately from work. We pre-recorded up, and I came out and I got all my boards up on the north and east side. I'm sorry, south and west side. I said, I'm so screwed up right now. You guys have
the whole world's screwed up right now.
I know. And so I literally have this thing bearing down here. So does Rick. It's going to go. Rick and I are both in a wind danger area, and Rick is in a flood danger area as well for tidal flooding. So there's a lot to go through tonight and a lot to digest. So I just realized I'm showing some screen that says Zoom or something on it. So let's go ahead and get this up here. I want to show you this. This is the National Weather Service forecast.
You got something up that's saying this meeting is being live streamed and you need to push a dang button.
Yeah.
To get it off there.
All right. I should be showing. I don't have my monitor up either. So let me just share screen here and we will just do it like this. Okay,
there we go. Extraneous window you need to get rid of. You always got to put that stuff in your face all the time.
Okay,
drives me crazy.
Hold on, I'm going to have to pull it up because I don't see what you're talking about. I see the
storm. This meeting is being live streamed. Okay, it's on my end. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, you're fine. It's fine. Trust me, it's Windows' fault, not yours. Anyway,
no, this is Linux.
Well, we'll still blame it on Bill Gates. Okay. Anyway, we'll blame it on Bill Gates because he built something that wasn't as good as Linux. Anyway, and so that's why we have these dichotomy between the two systems. Anyway, what we got here is we're showing you the this is the basic forecast. I don't like how small they've made this thing. It's so hard to see. So I'm going to do something.
You can't tell what they're looking at here.
I know. I think
why in the hell are they making it so small?
They do that on purpose because they're not sure. If you can't really see. This is the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Now, what we're looking at here, this was the position at 8 p.m. The M's mean major hurricane.
Over 110, yeah.
Over 110 miles an hour, exactly. So it is forecast to be that. They're forecasting it to be a Category 4 hurricane when it arrives here. So notice this one has it hitting the Cape Hayes Peninsula directly and then going right up just north of the Peace River. This is almost the same exact track as Charlie. It's a little spooky, actually, except this storm's 3 or 4 times the size of Charlie, which makes a real mess for us. Now, where we got to worry about this storm is there still could be some movement in this track. I'm going to use a really horrible color here so you can see what I'm doing. There's always track uncertainty, and notice this south uncertainty here still is down south of Bonita Beach. So all of Lee County is still in the actual direct hit forecast cone. That should be noted. and all of Tampa, Clearwater, St. Petersburg, even further north than that is all included in the left side. But this thing has been trending right all day. And last night, you guys saw that. It's been trending right. I really don't think it's going to do anything else at this point. I think we've about trended out because there's just not really much else for it to do. This thing's going to come down. It might warble left or right by a few miles, but regardless, at this point, we are going to be hit by this storm. There's no two ways about it. If you're in Collier, you're going to have bad conditions. If you're in Lee, you're going to have really bad conditions, and Charlotte as well. Sarasota, hit and miss. It's going to depend on the warble. But once you get north of Ruskin and Bradenton, this might actually be good news for them. It is actually, because they're going to now have an offshore wind like we did during Irma. And they're never going to get those really strong 140 mile an hour wind gusts. So because of that, this may be a blessing in disguise up here, but it's a worst case scenario down here. Now, remember, Charlie's eye was about that big. You guys see that little purple circle I put there?
Yeah.
The eye of this one's
Small.
probably going to be more like this when it gets here. And no, I'm not drawing boobies. This one's gonna be more like this. It's literally about 4 times the size. That being said, you guys know the strongest winds go around the middle of the eye, right?
Yeah.
So because of that, the eye wall, if the eye's 7 foot wide, then people only experience the eye wall out about 10, 12 miles on either side of the storm because it's really tight and compact. When you get a large storm that's, let's say the eye is 20 foot wide, and you got a 20 miles wide, and you got a 10 mile wide eye wall outside of that, that storm's 40 miles wide now in the part that's devastating. And so that's what makes this so dangerous is this one, the eye on this is going to be larger. At this point, I see category 3 or 4 eye wall winds along the barrier island, Sanibel North, and also Northwest Cape, Burnt Store Marina. That whole area up there is going to see devastation. I'm telling you, because we've got eye wall winds up there. If it warbles slightly to the right, I could easily get 140 mile an hour winds here, which I do not believe my structures can handle.
Yeah.
You'll know because I'll probably yell on the 775 as it's coming apart. I'm kind of kidding and kind of not. Anyway, I'm sorry. My head's tonight, my head just feels weird. I want you guys to remember something. I started talking about this 9 days ago. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Tuesday. Yeah.
I started talking about this. Well, it was actually, I started talking about it Monday. I started tracking it Sunday. It actually was showing up on the long range over a week ago.
Yeah.
And I started putting bulletins out because I knew this was going to be something unique. This was going to be something that was going to directly affect our area. And every time I brought up this storm and talked about it with my friends, I got the hair stood up on the back of my neck. And so I knew there was some connection to this storm. And then they named it my name, the bastards. Not happy with the National Hurricane Center and those guys that make up those names, but that's for another day. I guess everybody has to take a turn, right?
Yeah.
All right.
There's
So
been a couple of Hurricane Richards and Ricks. So
yeah, I think they probably retired all those by now, but
Yeah.
there was for sure at one time. Let's take a look at this is a let me put it back up before I forget. All right, this is going to be a infrared view. We're going through an eye wall regeneration cycle. That's what's going on right now. I just noticed it. See these little boxes popping up over here on Florida?
Yeah.
Those are tornado warnings.
Yeah.
Those are all tornado warnings working their way up.
There was some nice pictures on Ryan Oil of the tornado just north of 41 down in the Everglades.
Right.
He had pictures of it. It was kind of cool.
I haven't seen that. I'm going to go back. Once he gets done with the stream, I can go back and find it because that would be cool to put on. I will tell you, though, we're definitely going through an eye wall regeneration cycle. Is that good or bad?
Lightning.
Yeah, lightning near the core. Interesting. Normally lightning's in the outer feeder bands. So, okay, so what is an eye wall regeneration cycle? Do you notice how the eye kind of collapses in on itself?
Yeah.
And then it comes around and it's forming a new eye. This is an eye wall regeneration cycle. It's a sign of strengthening. However, it will temporarily lessen it slightly. So in other words, if it would do this right as it was coming on shore, it would be helpful. But because it's doing it so far out, I think we're going to be back to cooking with gas by tomorrow. Yeah. This thing's going to come in quick. I'm going to literally, when I get done with you guys, I'm going to go back out there.
You know, that almost looked to me like it's headed northeast. Have you noticed that?
There is an easterly component to it for sure. That's why I said, I don't expect it to move any more to the left. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's not going to move any more to the left. It's just not. It's going to maybe move a little more to the right, which puts it right over Lee County. All right, back to Mike's weather page. Man, they got some neat radar views on here. Let's see what this one looks like. Is it going to play? Probably not. Again, I'll blame Bill Gates. All right, let me switch to the other source and we'll just do it that way. Rather than that, we'll just screen share and we'll share this one. This is the one I use on the stream. This is windy.com. And this will show you, notice this, you get the whole storm now. There it is. Notice the eye wall come in on itself and then form a new smaller eye wall. And then that smaller eye wall will begin to open back up again. That's an eye wall regeneration cycle going on. You're watching it live. Notice that real heavy rain is just about to arrive here, it looks like, or is arriving here, or did arrive here. It looks like another batch right behind it. And then another batch coming out of Fort Lauderdale that's right behind that. So this is going to train through all night. I strongly suggest to everybody, being someone that's gone through these before, I'm going to strongly suggest that everybody goes to bed sooner rather than later. You want to try to get some sleep while you can. It's going to be hard to sleep without AC if you don't have it. With me, survival, I don't care about food or water or medical supplies. As long as my air conditioner is working, I'm fine.
I care about water and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I can't live without air conditioning. So I have a backup generator at this point that I won a while back.
Yeah,
so yeah, and I got window units, and I will be up on Jenny and running my window units during the storm, because I can't be without air conditioning, not even for a minute. It's unacceptable. And I'm a Floridian, natural born. Okay, so there we go. That's what we got going on there. You can see how it's working its way up. Let's go. I showed you the models already. I'm being fingered by Joseph.
Yeah, no, I was just watching Joseph eat his way through a hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have to worry. He's sitting up there in Huntsville.
Yeah, no, but he's always eating, so he's eating his way through a hurricane.
We're just having a good time up here laughing about you guys.
Joseph will still be there. I swear that windy model looks to me like that thing's headed northeast. And if it's headed northeast,
well, you may see wobbles that look like wobbles, but it's actually the eye wall regeneration cycle where, you know, it may change where the new center is, though. You're right. It may literally change where the new center is. All right, I want to go through real quick. I got some emails. I get emails from all the different counties. I'm on every county alert for 5 counties and on all the cities. So I get to see what they put out. Surprisingly little out of Lee County, but there has been some coming out. Collier County sandbagging operation has completed. All Collier County non-essential offices are closed until further notice. Tornado watch is issued for about the whole area right now. Getting a lot of people signing up for the newsletter and stuff. That's really good. Charlotte County Emergency Management has issued evacuation orders to everyone living in mobile or pre-manufactured homes, regardless of which evacuation zone you live in. In addition, everyone in Zone A and Red Zone and Zone B, the Orange Zone, have been ordered to leave. Evacuate your home and a friend, relative, or hotel outside the evacuation zone, or go to a public shelter. I got to tell you guys, if you've never sheltered at a public shelter, it's an uncomfortable situation. I worked shelters one time years ago when I was with the fire department. And I love when people show up at a shelter because they show up with nothing and ask when the meal's being served.
Yeah. Well,
and when you show up at a shelter, you're basically bring everything you and your family need, and all we're giving you is a space. That's a shelter.
yeah.
So that's it.
It's not a motel.
Well, I work with the Red Cross, and we used to give food with our shelters. It wasn't always warm, but it was.
No, but we don't. But and you're right. And God bless the Red Cross and the Salvation Army. Okay, God bless them all. It's not their job to feed you. Bring your own food.
No,
if they have food there,
it's
that's
right.
great.
But like you say, there's such a huge amount of confusion. And my
I
experience.
decided to book in the morning. I'm headed for my church. It's right in the middle of, it's on 2nd Street in Fort Myers. I hope that's up higher than I am here.
Yeah, we can only see your left shoulder, Rick.
Well, let's fix that.
That's better.
Things
All
are
right, I want
uglier
to
than
show
that.
you guys. Collier County has issued a. That's not what I wanted to do. Damn it! I wish things would just work like they're supposed to sometimes. When I click open image in a new tab, you know what it's supposed to do? It's supposed to open an image in a new tab. Anyway, I'm going to show you in the email program because that's all I can do right now. This is from Collier County. This is the mandatory evacuation zone for Collier. Let me put it up. Hold on. There we go. This is the mandatory evacuation zone for Collier. Now, it's not near as big as Lee or Charlotte, obviously. I'm getting the Lee County one now. So Lee County is evacuating 3 zones. Okay, here it is right here. Open in a new tab. Okay, hey, it opened in a new tab. Isn't that cool? Okay, this is didn't open what I wanted, but that's okay. We can see this, I guess. There we go. This is Lee County. Everything in the red and everything in the red is a mandatory evacuation zone right now. And I believe the yellow and the gold also. That's zone A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3, whatever. My family, my brother and his whole family are writing this out. You don't want to know where. Right there.
I wouldn't do it that. I mean, I've been
No,
sitting here.
they're crazy. I said goodbye to him on the phone today.
Yeah.
I
You
told
know
him,
where
I said,
I
you
am,
guys
Ian, so
have
I've
fun
had a
up
hard
there.
time deciding whether to write it out here. But
Well, Rick, I'd write it out at your house. It's a good house. And even though it's in a flood zone, I don't think you're going to get it up to the ceiling.
yeah.
But I would write it at your house. I would not write it there. They
Well, I
literally,
wouldn't write it out of them on a Barrier Island either. That's crazy.
and they're not just on a barrier island. They're on a barrier island that doesn't have a bridge. They're right here on Upper Captiva.
That's
and
worse than Grand Isle, Louisiana.
I know. I told him, you know what I told him on the phone earlier? I said, I'll see you guys in the next life. I hope it goes quick.
Yeah.
Is that mean?
Yeah.
but I don't want to lose them. I'm hoping they'll think about it.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
they'll
I mean,
close those bridges once the
yeah,
course,
and there is no
yeah.
bridge. And my nephew runs the launch for the island, and my sister-in-law and my brother own the big property management company on the island, and my other nephew works out there as the only pool guy on the island. He does all the pools on the island. So my whole family works on Upper Cap, and so They won't leave. They got a house out there and they're not leaving. My mom is right here in North Fort Myers. I can't get her to leave either.
Yeah. Well, you know
So-
where I am. I'm right here at the corner.
Yep. You are right here in the yellow zone.
Well, not really.
Oh, actually, no, you're in the red zone because you're on the other side of McGregor. Yeah,
McGregor, but it's
Yeah.
not.
yeah, you're right there.
And I'm thinking if this thing comes in from approaches from the south, most of your wind is going to come up from the south and it's going to push the water to on the north side.
Yeah.
So
Everything was worse. What was I thinking?
Yeah, I
it
know.
depends
babe.
on what
I thought
angle the
about it after
thing
you left.
hits.
My wife just said everything's closed. Everything.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
So
In
we're gonna
Collier,
go.
everything
We're
closed
gonna
at
go.
6.
We're gonna go make some gourmet ravioli here in a few minutes.
Gourmet ravioli is better than
Yeah.
nothing.
And I want to make a comment about at noon today. I put out what I call a hurricane emergency notice. I've never done anything like this before. I wanted to get people's attention.
Be careful mentioning category 5.
Yeah, I haven't. There's
You did too, and I would never say that unless you really thought there was a realistic chance of that happening. And that frightens the public. You got to be careful with that. You know, I hate to be critical, but that's
yeah, first of all, there is indication out there. As a matter of fact, Mike on Mike's weather page was talking about this earlier on one of his broadcasts. There is indication here that it could strengthen up that high. I'm trying not to say that, obviously,
yeah.
but I also you have to split the difference. This is something Matt Devitt and Trey and I talk about a lot when we're just hanging around a station. You have to split the difference between sounding too much of an alarm and crying wolf and getting people to actually heed the warning. I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you something. When Charlie came, it came over so fast, it surprised people. When Irma came, everybody left.
Yeah.
Irma came, everybody left. The roads were gridlock getting out of town. Everybody left. I just looked at the interstates when I was at work earlier. There's no gridlock anywhere. The interstates are rolling free. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's leaving. So yes, I have been very blunt about what I'm seeing on the models. I've been very blunt about what I'm seeing, what's the forecast. I'm also being very honest about the fact that I'm not a meteorologist. I'm an enthusiast, just like you guys are.
Like we are.
And
yeah.
I'm here trying to pass on information that I see. And I try to also preface it with, I think, or I see. If you guys notice, I say that a lot. And then I'll go back and say, here's what they're saying it's going to do. I try to, I do, Rick. I try that, but I appreciate that.
And I'm not trying to come down on you. I just
No, I get
picked
it.
that up and it scared me. And I went and looked around and I thought, be careful with that. That's like them mentioning nuclear weapons. That's scary too.
Well, they're saying it could get up to 150.
Yeah.
So we're only 6 miles an hour from a category 5.
Yeah. Too.
So I don't feel that it's that far out of line, but again, you're right. I don't harp on it because it's not likely.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
likely is a category 4 strike at about 125 miles an hour, 130 miles an hour. That's what's
130.
likely.
Yeah. That's realistic.
A quick note on the evacuation. When you say, like Irma, everybody was out of here. And obviously around here, Irma, a lot of people left. But to be honest, all the people I've talked to, they said they left for Irma, and the aggravation of leaving for Irma was worse than if they'd have stayed.
Yeah.
Because they had problems with the transport, they had problems with getting gas off of, out of the exits
I went and got my gas.
25. And then when they did get up north, they had a real problem trying to find hotels.
Yep.
The amount of people that had to spend 1 and sometimes 2 nights in their cars. It was, the people that I've talked to here. So I'm kind of not surprised that there's not, that people haven't evacuated because, to be honest, as long as you've got a reasonable house and you're out of the flood zones, Yeah, it's a lot of inconvenience. Like you say, you lose your air conditioning, the restaurants and stuff, boys. But it's a hell of a lot better than trying to live it out in your car.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes,
A lot of my friends-
everything you just said is 100% correct.
And I have
Everything you just
fever,
said.
so-
But the other side of that discussion is you leave every time you might have to leave.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you left when you didn't have to leave. That's just the way it is.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the
one here
problem.
where you probably
It's tough
should
to
leave.
judge.
And now because everybody got screwed on the last one is what they figure. I got screwed on the last one. They're not leaving for this one.
Yeah.
This is going to have the one thing that makes people die, and that's storm surge.
Yeah.
You know, the two biggest killers in storms, storm surge. Number 2, generator exhaust.
Yeah. The generator has to be 20 feet away from the
Yep.
house.
Yep.
Out in the open. And I've got a canopy to go over mine. I just picked it up at Wally World the other day. So when the winds die down and I put the generator out, it's gonna be out, away from the house.
Yeah.
Right. I've got mine runs in my little shed behind my big shed,
Yeah,
and
That's
I've got
good
to,
too.
yeah.
but I got a
So
little
I got
blue
it.
canopy. It's a 10 by one of those tent things.
Yep.
So I thought I paid $40 for it. I went crazy spending money because if I gotta have this stuff, I'm gonna get it now. I should have done it back in June, but then that's the problem. I should have had my hex beam down on Sunday and didn't do it.
I know.
I just,
I
I'm
should have had my
kicking
house
myself
boarded up 2 days ago, but it's not that I'm procrastinating. I'm waiting to see if it's necessary till
Yeah.
I make sure that I
same
have
here
enough
too.
time to get it done.
This is similar to the problem with tornado warnings. If you're familiar with this situation, people hear a tornado warning and they want to look out the window to see if there's a tornado there. And that's not good.
No.
So it's finally WTVJ in Miami got people to evacuate over there. I believe it's for Andrew, by actually having the news people. Well, they didn't actually do it. They had to do it because of the winds. They had to get under the thing there and report from underneath their desks.
Yeah.
That woke people up.
This is a fairly new GFS ensemble. An ensemble just means it's all the different GFS runs put on one page. And
That's
the black
a bad
line,
symphony.
it is a bad symphony. You notice how it has no idea out past day 2 what it's even going to do.
Yeah.
It has no idea. But there's a lot of consensus that brings it right through here.
Yeah.
There's about 4 or 5 that bring it over Lee, 4 or 5 more to bring it over Charlotte, and about 3 or 4 more to bring it over Sarasota. And then there's a couple more of your outliers up here going towards Tampa. But the consensus track brings it right over Inglewood.
Those poor people.
Yeah, that's not good. Trying to see what else we got here. This is from Tropical Tidbits. And there's the
And of course, those
GES.
pressures are not to be believed.
No, they're not. Those are always high. They're definitely gonna be lower than that.
Bovine scatology.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be more like 954, maybe lower than that.
Yep. All right, so they're showing it now at 120 miles an hour. I think we're going to see that strengthening just up to maybe Hurricane 4. I don't see, like we just talked about a little while ago, I really don't see quite enough energy there to go to a 5. We're running out of room, running out of real estate to run. And we just went through an eyewall regeneration cycle. Sometimes those will bring it down a 10 miles an hour briefly, and then it brings it right back up again. Yeah. So that eyewall regeneration cycle is happening a little early to be helpful for us, though. It might actually serve to get it stronger before it gets here. So we have to watch that. But yeah, I'm trying to see what else we haven't showed here yet. I'm literally soaked in my shoes right now, so I'm not going to be on here too much longer.
I was that way a while ago.
my feet are pruned up right now. I was putting up these boards and the water's running off the roof down both my arms, down inside my shirt and into the pockets in my pants.
Yeah, I just felt like I had to get that hex beam completely apart. And of course, I've broken one of the spreaders, but
Yeah.
that's minor damage. But
It is, but I was afraid with your hex beam, you got a lot of like branches back there. If one of those
Yeah.
branches fell on that, it would break it all into pieces and it would destroy it.
well, it would destroy that the center thing and the
Yeah.
center post and all that. I don't care so much about those spreaders as I care about the centerpiece. That's about the most expensive piece. So that's safely in the garage,
Right.
unless we wind up scuba diving in the garage. But other than that, it's in the garage,
Yeah.
along with 30 gallons of gasoline, the car, which is full of gas, and I don't know.
Yeah, I got about 16 and a half gallons of gas. So that's good for a little over 2 days.
Yeah, I should be able to get a couple of days. And my next door neighbor just got a generator, an inverter generator. So he has to get 2 cans of gas. So who knows? I might be able to give him some of my gas. I don't know. I spent $100 on gasoline yesterday because I went and put,
I did too. Yeah, my van and all the gas cans was right at $100. Yeah.
yeah, because I
Yep,
went
yep,
ahead
yep.
and filled my car up too. And I went and I put the alcohol-free gas in all of it. I went to the Wawa station.
I just noticed in the corner down here is my tower cam. But the tower is laying on the ground.
Hey, rotate it 90 degrees and say it's tree cam.
Yeah, what I'm gonna probably go do is take it off, because I'm gonna take it off and move it to a different pole anyway when I put it back up. So I'm gonna go out now, and I've got about an hour here to finish up a few little things. I got to shore up where my weather station is. I'm gonna shore up my weather station, and I'm gonna take that camera, and I'm probably gonna put that camera out there where I can see the horizon and up over the house and everything somewhere.
Do you have time to try and get that all-star node online? Even if you just plug it into internet, and it doesn't have to have let's see, the audio. So I would not be able to hear audio from the repeater because of that connection
Can't
broken.
believe
So I
that thing
guess
fell apart again. I had it fall apart on me once and I resoldered it, and damn it, it hadn't fallen apart again. Ah,
I know. I'm so sick of it. I have bad luck with soldering, even when I don't do it.
could you try and tape the little thing on there or something, like set it in a bin and then just like, I mean,
I can go look and see if I got these little plastic clamps. Maybe I can put a little clamp on it or something.
yeah,
I'm
that might work.
willing to look, but I got to get everything else done first. But
Oh
I'm
yeah, no, this is a low priority.
and then
I just-
Low
I may
priority.
have time tomorrow just to sit and play with it, but by then we'll probably have lost internet and it won't do any good anyway.
yeah,
'Cause the
But
internet will probably
I don't know.
go
I'm
out
probably
and-
going to go. I'm going to try to go to bed pretty early because I want to start the watch net pretty early in the morning. And then I'm going to stay up all day for the watch net.
Oh, you're gonna turn on, and what are you gonna do? Monitor 775 or what?
I'm going to monitor 775 and 520, and I'm going to
Okay.
monitor them both through the whole storm. I've got one Ringo Ranger that I'm leaving up. It's on my 20-foot tower, so it's about 30 foot to the tip.
Yeah,
I'm probably going to leave that one up.
you
Because
may
the
be
tower,
sacrificing it.
I may. But it's an old beat up antenna that was given to me about a year ago, and I've gotten good use out of it, and it needs to be taken down and fixed anyway. So I think I'm going to probably leave that one just because I need to have a good antenna up for 520.
Yeah,
And then I've got 2 other antennas that what I did, I took my other Ringo Ranger and another antenna. And what I did was I took the pole. I had some like antenna mast poles, the little 1.25 inch antenna mast poles. I drove it halfway down in the ground and just stuck the Ringo Ranger on there and put the bolt in it. And so it's sitting right above the ground by about 5 feet, but it's a Ringo Ranger. So it should still do pretty good,
yeah, well, we hope.
Yeah. Then I got
Well,
another one. Another one, I got a magnetic mount that I put on the roof of the shed just so I can run a third radio without risking any more of my antennas.
That's an idea.
Yeah, I actually have another magnetic mount I'm thinking about putting on the
You
other
just
side.
gave me an idea.
Yeah,
If I've got one of those magnetic mounts around here, I'll go find a pizza tin, and I think I've got one of those, and I can throw this thing up in the attic.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That might work. But anyway, yeah, so that's where I'm at. I got the antenna down, but I still have to go out there and take everything and secure it. It's all just laying in a big pile right now.
Yeah.
So I need to go out there and secure it so it can't fall over and all that kind of bull.
Sounds like a missile.
Well, it's a 20-foot freestander that looks like an old derrick. And I love it. And it's got my rotator, and my rotator is sitting up there in such a way that I need to go out and bag the rotator because I don't want it getting water down in it.
Yeah. got my
It's
rotator
on an
in
angle.
for it.
It's on about a 15-degree angle, but it's still, if it blows around, it'll get water up in it.
You get water in it. Yeah.
So we have no wind right now, but in a little
That's
while, the
why I
wind's
took
gonna
mine
start
all the
picking
way
up.
down.
I could take it all apart and take it completely down, Rick. It's easier for me to bag it at this point because it's
Bag
still
it,
going to be
yeah.
there after the storm. And you're redoing yours. Mine just needs to. I'm just putting a new mast on top of mine.
Yeah.
I'm going from a
Well,
PVC
probably-
mast to a metal
Mine's
mast.
probably gonna have to be rebuilt. So
Yeah.
I had to cut a couple of cables. I had one cable to get up to the where it's fed, and I had to cut it because I couldn't get the tape off the connector. So I just cut it.
I had to cut a
No.
piece of coax too. It kind of hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it hurts, but you do what you got to do. You got to get the damn thing down and worry about the mess later.
Oh well. All right. So I don't have anything else. Do you guys have anything else?
What
Uh,
about? Oh, go ahead, Dave.
I've got a quick technical question. I've got a repeater close to me here. I'm not sure where it is, but it's on 469-99250. Does anybody know what that is? Is that like GMRS or
Did
what?
you just type it straight into Google?
That ain't gonna help. It's probably GMRS 469.
469, that sounds a little high. I think they're on 467. So
It might just be
469, no
business.
telling what it is.
It might be business band.
Yeah.
Business ban, utilities, even the federal government, who knows?
Yeah, it's not transmitting a call sign or anything, but it is a repeater. And it's very close. So I don't know where it is. I mean, we have got the new fire station, in the corner of our property. But I don't think it's coming out of there because I know all their frequencies and what they've got there. I was just wondering if anybody had any idea what 469-99250 was.
Could be like school
Uh,
bus or
It says found on 469.975 FM on my ICOM HD. Let's see.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Sounds like
I've got-
portable traffic lights or something. Unknown 469 is a signal from a wireless alarm service, a monitoring service. Homes and businesses with alarm signals can use this transmitter for backup locations and phone lines. This is on Signal Wiki,
Oh, I didn't do that one.
but it says unverified. So I don't know.
Nah.
That's all I found on it.
Right. And when you were talking about filling up with gas, we've got our own gas station in the development here. So I own 1/1600th of a gas station. But what's interested in, we normally get it filled on a Thursday, and we never go higher than the Raceway, which is down on Bonita Grand. So we match their price or better. And then we all get 5% or 5 cents discount on a gallon if you live in here, because we own it. But what was interested in 4 days, which was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we used exactly the same amount of gas as we normally use in 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was everyone filling
Yep.
tanks and everything else. So now we've got a problem. We never keep our tanks full because of, if anything goes wrong, you've lost, a small fortune, to be honest. So
Yeah.
we run our tanks just over 50%. the next fill will probably run them a little more, but we're kind of sitting here thinking, how much do we buy now? Because the next time we fill it up, the storm will be gone, and everybody will have their car full of gas. It's just another one of the things that you
Yeah.
don't think about a storm causes.
Yep.
But,
All right. Who else? Did somebody else have something?
yeah, Joe.
We gotta get our frequencies.
Yes. We wanted to establish some frequencies just in case we lose everything down here that we can try. And what we were thinking, or what I was thinking actually, and Joseph came up with the idea, but I was thinking, why don't we do, we could pick a frequency, 2 frequencies. I was thinking 20 and 40. And we'll pick the frequency and a time, like even hours at the top of the hour.
Yeah, of course, my antennas are all down right now. So
Well, that's my problem.
it's either gonna be 444-775 or nothing at all with me.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I've got all my HF stuff down too, but I'll be able to get my hex back up as soon as the wind dies down. I just got to
Yeah.
sit it back up on the stand.
Yeah, I'll go back up with one of the infeds.
Yeah.
One
But-
of the advantages of having all your antennas in the attic.
Yeah.
I've got all mine up and running.
Yeah. There's definitely a positive and a negative to that.
Yeah.
Of course, if you get really good antennas and good radios and they're all tuned just right, you can still get good performance.
Oh yeah.
What were you thinking, Joseph? 14, 2 something, what?
Well, we need something on at least on 20 and 40, I think. So I was just thinking pick some random ones. So like 14.250, that's upper sideband.
Yeah, that's not random enough. There's always nets up around there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's always good. You could do 14.25 or 14.255.
Hang on a second. Let me just have a quick look.
I mean, you're probably gonna. There's probably not going to be any frequency that's open all the time, which is why we need a few frequencies. Because if we tell somebody, "Hey, get off our frequency,"
How
Yeah.
about
we're going to be just as bad as them.
14.245.
I think it's raining again.
14.245. That's just down from the SSTV band, which is a regular voice band.
Yeah.
And then for 40,
Oh, 7.200.
Nay, the best frequency.
how about 7.180? 180.
That's fine. 7.180 lower
Seven.
sideband.
180. And then what I'm going to do is we need to figure out, because there's no sense in you turning your radio on and listening for us every 2 hours, because none of us have our HF stuff up right now. Most of us don't anyway.
Right.
So what we probably need to do is say, look, if we have not established contact by a certain date and time, we'll try to get a hold of each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you guys think? Friday morning at 10 o'clock or something? I mean, what are you guys thinking?
Yeah,
There's
what was
always
the
these things too.
frequency? 7.185?
180.
180. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, 7.180 and 14.234. And I mean, I'm trying to make it to where it's useful but not cumbersome.
Somebody write the frequencies down. I don't have something available.
Do what now?
I said, somebody write these down. I
Oh,
don't have
I'm
a-
writing them down. I got them written
yeah,
down.
we'll put them in the chat room and you get them there.
Yeah, I've written it down.
Yeah.
So should we do, so we could say Friday.
Let me get a pen and roll it down.
There you go, Rick. They're in the chat room. Well, here's the thing. I don't know. The winds are going to die down here sometime Thursday. But it could be late Thursday. That's why I'm thinking we will probably have contact with you by Friday morning. If not, then let's try this.
Okay.
Let me get the chat.
And nobody's got HF. Well, Rick, Dave has his antennas up still.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
his
I've got
house.
HF, no
Yeah, but
problem.
he only does 6 meters.
Well, I've got 5 antennas for 6 meters. I've got others.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just looking at, I'm just trying to get it tuned now. I've forgotten how to tune it because I do everything off of SDR Play. But I guess 14.2, that will be a morning, midday frequency, and the evening one would be 14.234.
So why don't on
Good
20
days.
on
Has
20,
anybody
let's
used that Zillow app?
Yeah, I can put up the.
do you want to make it like say noon on or 10 a.m. on Friday?
That sounds good. 10 a.m. Eastern.
Okay,
10 a.m. might be good.
We'll start on 20, obviously, because 40 probably won't work during the day that well. And then I'll tell you what, just in case it's even worse than we think, why don't we put 8 p.m. on the 40?
8 p.m.
So-
on 40 meters.
So Friday,
So that would be 2,000
if
hours.
if you haven't, if you haven't heard from me or anybody, us down here and made contact with somebody that can let us all know, then I will try to get you on and whoever I can get on 20 meters Friday at 10 a.m. And I'll make that announcement on the WatchNet if I've got people on there as well.
Actually,
Okay.
that time in the morning, 40 meters may even still work.
Okay.
So we could try both. And
Yeah,
if
at
we
10 in the
both.
morning, yeah, it
like
might work.
20 meters might still work at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I'll just have a look now and see if it's still open.
All right. I put that in the chat. Does that sound right, Joseph?
14.245 upper sideband and then 7.180 lower sideband Friday, 10 a.m. Start on 20 meters and then 8 p.m. try 40 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 meters is still open.
We'll try them both. Okay. I'll try one.
Yeah.
If I don't hear anything, I'll try the other for both. But I assume that those will be when it'll be best for the each band. But yeah, we'll try that. After Katrina, it was there was almost a week that some areas were without cell service. I don't think this one will be quite that bad for here.
I hope.
I'd like to think that we'll keep some rudimentary cell service. And also by Friday or Saturday, I'll be driving out of the area, I'm sure, to get more gas and things, and I can make a call once I get out of the area too. But I do, let's definitely try this. I've got it here on my screen, and we'll try to get through. All right, what's that, Rick?
If you're gonna go as far as Bonita Beach for gas, I can put you on in the gate and you can come and get it here. We will definitely 100% have gas. Because we always do, as I say, we keep it, but you have to be able to get into the community to buy it.
Right.
And I can give you I can put a pass in for you for the gate if you're willing to come this far, but that's an awful long way from you.
Yeah,
I don't know how far.
you don't know how passable the roads will be by then either.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I noticed there was quite a few gas trucks around yesterday. I didn't go out today. I was working on my house for a change.
By the time I went out was to the Publix for just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Pick up some canned milk.
So that was the question. Has anyone else used these Zello, application?
I use Zello.
You do? Is it
I
good?
use it. It's fantastic. I use it almost every day.
Oh, okay.
Man, it's great.
So do you have to pick a frequency? I've never used it. I don't know. How many bands has it got or frequency?
So the way it works is you can talk directly to another contact and just talk direct to somebody, or you can create a group, create a room, and any number of people can jump in there.
All right, Joseph, I don't mean to interrupt you just for 1 second. Guys, I'm gonna bow out if that's okay. I'll leave it with you guys. If you
Yeah,
wanna
I'm
stay on
gonna
for a
do the
few more minutes.
same because I want to.
I gotta go. I got my family's waiting outside. I got 15 more things to do before I can go to bed tonight, and I need to get some sleep because tomorrow's gonna be a very long day. Does anybody have anything else?
Hey, real quick before you go, do you have any kind of small antenna you could put on an RTL SDR and plug into one of the Linux computers?
Sure.
Just so that I can tune around and listen to stuff.
Yeah. gonna have to set it up. Let me see. But I don't know. Let me do that. I'm not gonna do it right now, though.
Okay.
I'll have to do it later. I'll be sitting out here tomorrow, just monitoring the storm, sitting on my ass.
Do you want to do this tomorrow at 8 o'clock?
No,
Okay.
no, I almost didn't get tonight. Trust me. It's
You may not have internet tomorrow night. Who knows?
that's true. All
Yeah.
right, we've gotten 0.14 inches since we've been on. But I'm gonna go ahead and go, guys. I'm gonna let you go. Everybody, good luck out there and be safe. Does
Yeah,
anybody
same.
do you guys want to stay on, or are you ready to go?
I just want a quick word with Joseph about Zello.
Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys on for that, and I'm gonna go. Let me make Joseph the host. But that's the one thing I can't forget to do. So that, because if I end it, it'll end it for everybody. So let me make Joseph the host. All right, guys, good luck out there. Good luck to everybody.
All right.
Okay, thanks very much for everything.
All right.
Cheers.
Yep.
All
Be
right.
safe.
Hopefully we'll be talking on 444-775 sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be going on probably 7 or 8 o'clock, and I'll just be announcing every 30 minutes or so that we're active.
Okay.
And Sarnet's been active. My stream's up for that. And I'm gonna put the YouTube stream back up in a little while, but it'll be after I get done with everything.
I tell you what, these crazy Bofing radios, they'll go forever on one battery.
Yeah, they've got a way of receiving where they're only receiving like half the time. So it actually it stretches your battery life. It's pretty cool.
It does
All right,
a
guys,
terrific
I'm out.
job of that.
All
I
right.
literally
All right.
have to go. My feet are swelling in these shoes. So I'll see you
Cheers.
later. All right,
Understand?
have a good one. Be safe, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the 775, I hope. Cross our
Okay, so Joseph, on Zello, you say you can, have two people talking to each other like dedicated walkie-talkies.
Right.
So when you load the app, how do you get in contact with that person? You use their telephone number?
No, so they also have to have a Zello account. They just have to tell you their username on there.
Oh, okay. So you get an account, you have a username, then you give whoever you want a user.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just add each other and start talking.
Yeah. I saw it. They were talking about it. I'm not sure. Somebody was talking about it the other day, and I was, I was quite surprised. It's there's only 51 people employed with Zello.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. And it's based in Austin, Texas.
Hmm.
So, I would imagine if they were the startups, they're going to make some serious money if they ever put
Yeah,
that
come with some good money for
on
that.
the go. But
So yeah, they do a commercial side and then they do like a individual side, and it's pretty good. It works
Can you
really well.
spell Zello for me, or Zillow, whatever?
Zelllo.
Zelllo?
Yeah.
Yep.
Jello with a Z.
Okay.
Yeah, not like Zello, for house sales with a W, or various other Zellos that are around, or Zillow. I don't know.
Zillow.
Well, I'm up here in Kansas City now. I couldn't secure a rental in Florida, so I'm up here in Kansas City.
Well, you're probably better off right now with a hurricane.
Yeah, I see that.
That's an awful long way to go for an apartment.
Yeah, I have to tell you.
Well, I got kids here and kids close by, so made sense.
So is that kind of a permanent move, or?
No, I mean, I signed a 1-year lease, but we'll just go year by year here. So I was going to ask you, Dave, just before I left, you had ordered one of those $149 laptops. What do you think about it? Have you received it, and is it good, or?
It's brilliant. I mean, it really is. I mean, as long as you accept its limitations, because it's only got 128 gig of hard disk. It's only got 4 gig of RAM, and really it's not, the hard disk is E squared 2 or whatever it is. So it's not, the SSD
Or anything.
So, but I mean, for the price, and I've actually used it a lot more than I thought I would use it, because I bought it to use it for Coda. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's a really solid case. It's not, like the $60 that, it doesn't creak, and it boots up. I mean, the whole thing is really quite quick. And I'll switch it on now. And there you go. So,
Yeah.
compared with my older Macs and stuff, and it's running Windows 11. That's the only thing I've got against it. And
Oh, okay.
now it's up and running. So I can't make my mind up whether I want to actually drop Windows 11 and go back to 10.
10, yeah.
Is that for PODA is perfect, which
Awesome.
is what I bought it for.
Well, before I knew that, I recommended it to a guy who just needs it for email and, whatever, Google. And he's very non-computer, but I was hoping that would fit his needs. So.
No, I mean, I tried. You can definitely run 2 YouTube channels at the same time. But that's a kind of iffy thing compared with your internet and all the rest of it. But I mean, compared with a Raspberry Pi, this, it's got a keyboard, it's got all the interfaces. It's limited on the interfaces. You've got 2 USBs, you've got an HDMI, and then you've got another USB on this side.
Oh, yeah.
And it runs off of 19 volts, not 12. The keyboard is a little bit suspect. I'm not, because what you can do, you can press that button, and you can make it into a numeric pad.
Oh, okay.
That's a bit cheesy.
Well, you can get one of those keyboard, mouse, little deals, and
yeah. Well, what I've been trying to do, because I want to use this for PODA. I've not been using a mouse with it. I did buy a mouse with it, but the other thing is the mouse takes up one of the USB ports.
Yeah.
So what I do is I put my log immediately onto the USB, memory stick.
Okay.
So I did try, and that works actually. I did try running the logbook software off of a memory stick, and it runs. When you get it booted up, it runs fine. But
awesome.
I haven't been able to connect it up to my network here, and I'm not 100% sure why that is, but that's no big deal.
Yeah.
But for 140, you can get it for 128, and that gives you only 64 gig hard disk.
Yeah.
All right,
it's very good.
It's good color, and it's light, and it doesn't feel cheap at all.
Yeah.
And it's a good make. I mean, these guys make the fastest laptop in the world, don't they? Asus.
I mean, I've heard that. I've seen that brand for a long time. So.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could be a help. I move in on Saturday, and it's going to take me a while to get my HF stuff up, but be nice to be able to help with relays or whatever from here. But I'm a praying guy, so I'm praying for everybody, my family, friends, and acquaintances down there, that everything goes well. You all are safe.
Yeah, I've been doing a little of that myself.
Time to be quiet and pray.
You got that.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing the hard work stuff. I've been because I run a little home watch business here, as well as various other little businesses. But the home watch, I've been putting up people's shutters on their houses, and I did 11 houses this week since Thursday.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's tough. And then I did my own, and because some of them have got plants outside, and you have to do a good job, even though you don't. Initially, I think I was thinking this is probably a waste of time. And then up until yesterday morning, really, and then I was thinking, wow, maybe not. And then this afternoon, I was thinking, oh, I'm so glad that I did it,
Yeah.
Because, now it's going to take very, very little. Sorry. It's going to take very, very little movement for it to actually hit and come in on Fort Myers. and I'm only just down the road, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not going to take a huge amount of movement, and it'll actually come in at Bonita or North Naples. I mean, if it comes in Naples, it's going to hit me because it's going up at an angle. So anywhere between Fort Myers and Naples, I'm going to be right in the eye. So I'm so glad that I did put everybody's, you know, shutters up and various, you know,
Yeah.
some people have got.
Well, this is going to be a real
Well,
test of the,
yeah.
you know, amateur emergency network around there, because I think it's going to be needed this time. Sure looks like it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, we had a call out today at 7, but I missed it with the Collier County. I'm a member of areas for Collier County, but I'm also a member of CERT here.
Yeah.
So and I'm trying to get the CERT, you know, which is the Community Emergency Response Team. And I'm trying to get them all interested in radios and stuff. We'll probably get GMRS radios. They've got a bunch of old radios. They're all Japanese, Chinese Radiosity or Radio City or something that, you know, just sat in a box. I'll probably take them and sell them at the Hamfest up at Fort Myers, and give them some money back. I'm sure you can get $5 or $10 for those little handhelds. I'm sure somebody will buy them too. And we've got a bunch of those, and I think we're going to go GMRS because that's what the fire service use. But they don't do communications at the moment, which is a real struggle. But I don't want to get too involved because I've got so much else going on. I don't want to have another. You know, I'm supposed to be retired, but you know.
Yeah, well, I'll clear with you guys 73s, and I'm gonna try to monitor the cars repeater on Echolink just to get a flavor for what's going on there. So
yeah, I think they've disconnected some of them because they're going to be used for emergency service through the hurricane.
Yeah.
So I think they've taken.
Yeah, it's not going to be for chat. It's just going to be monitor. You know, should be able to monitor and stuff.
Yeah.
And that Ryan Hall, y'all, that guy's incredible. So
yeah, I've been watching him. I watched him from 5 through. It's like a soap opera. You know, you can't switch it off. You know, it's like. It's,
well, they pick up that other guy there, the meteorologist. He picks up tornadoes before they even show up. I mean, he's incredible.
Andy Hill.
Yeah,
he looks like he's 12. I don't know how old he is, but Joseph looks like he's 12.
Like Joseph. Yeah, he looks like Joseph. Another nerd.
Yeah.
Nerds make money,
which we always need.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the future, you know. Old farts. We're not.
Well, he said something funny. He said somebody reported that the Waffle Houses were closing. That's usually a sign that it's going to get really bad.
Yeah. Well, I got an email. I mean,
where is this? The Waffle Houses are closing.
Right by us in Lee and Collier.
Oh man, Collier.
It's funny. In the middle of the afternoon, I got an email from Royal.
So where's Jim Cantori?
Clearwater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's another indication.
Yeah, well, I got an email from the ice cream shop. You know, Royal Scoop. I don't know if you've got Royal Scoops up in Fort Myers, but we've got quite a few around here.
Yeah, there's one in Port Charlotte.
Yeah, well, they were closing at 8 o'clock tonight, but they were offering discounts between 5 and 8. You know, and I was thinking, oh my God, I can't get. But I was thinking, you know, I'll get an email. The only shop I get an email saying they're closing is an ice cream shop. I'll say something, you know. So, no more ice cream until further notice.
There you go.
We've got a freaker flyer card with them as well.
Unless you've got some there and you better eat it before the.
Well, if you could still jump on an Allegiant there in Punta Gorda, you can come to Kansas City. I'll find a place for you.
Airports are closed.
Tampa closed this afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas City. That's a big junk. Well, you get tornadoes like there's no tomorrow up there, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. There's I'm moving into a place that doesn't have a basement, but that's all right.
Wow. Yeah, I thought they were pretty standard up there.
Well, I
then
needed
if you're
something
renting,
with,
you don't
with
really
no
care.
steps.
If you're renting, you don't really worry too much.
Yeah. Well, my son has a nice basement. If I can get up here, I'll be okay. But that's 40 minutes away.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, I mean, the trouble is tornadoes, they pop up and down so quick, don't they?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go. I'm going to wish you all the best. All be safe.
Yeah. Likewise.
And we'll see if we can catch you before Friday. And
Keep
on
doing
some
those
other
prayers. I've been doing the same.
yeah,
All righty.
we'll be back on Friday.
Very
Hopefully.
good. You take care.
All right, 7-3 all.
Everything.
Click there. And I've got to go. Click here somewhere, yeah. Leave.